Are you a fan of horror movies?
Necronomicon Ex Mortis, the Book of the Dead.
What about cult classics?
Your move, creep.
If you are, you'll love Shocking Things. Please search for us on all the major podcasting platforms. To see our social media and a direct link to our podcast, please go to anchor.fm/shockingthings.
Tracy Smothers, Harley Race, Tim Storm, Bushwhacker Luke, Bobby Fulton. The Pro Wrestling Vault, Volume 1. Bill Dundee, Supermex Hernandez, C.W. Anderson, Ricky Morton, Sir Mo, and many others share their stories of determination, triumph, and sorrow. Get your book today at Russellville.com or at Amazon.com. Russellville, it's where wrestling lives.
Welcome, everybody, to the PWZ's NWA Spotlight. I'm here by myself today. So, at least for now, waiting on Mickey Biggs. I've got my oldest son here with me who's joining in. He wanted to come on and get in the feed. So, this is my oldest son. He's 15, going to be 16 in August. It's not recognized. Christian Francis Del Santo. Chris, how's it going?
Pretty good.
So Chris is not normally a wrestling fan, with the exception of coming to indie shows with me in the Northeast. But so that's pretty much the only thing. Oh my God, Mickey Biggs has arrived. So we're here. Oh, you gotta get in the picture. Other way. My son is here. Jumping in. He wanted to jump in. Mickey, welcome to the show. Thank you for tuning in. I mean, absolutely. Joining me, rather. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
You're very low.
Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. Hear you. Yes, sir. So this is Christian. I don't know if you've ever met him before at the Paradise Alley. I was just having a conversation with him, who's not necessarily a wrestling fan, but decided to steal one of my Dusty Rhodes t-shirts for the occasion.
Hey, good choice.
Good choice indeed. It's funny that we're just having a discussion. Chris has been to many indie shows with me over the years, including shows by Northeast Wrestling Paradise.
My sympathies for you.
Thank you.
Your son, not you.
Well, it's funny because he sat down next to me or watching something, and Eddie Kingston just so happened to be popping up on television. Now, we have a funny story about Eddie Kingston from an indie show, from Chris's first show many, many years ago in Hampton, Connecticut. He was on a Wrestle Jam show, and I think it was Claudio, a.k.a. Cesaro, was in the match, and Eddie Kingston, and I remember Chris was wearing a Boston Red Sox baseball hat.
Another good choice.
And yeah, another great choice, exactly. But Eddie Kingston did not like that choice. In order to get some heat, he looked right at Chris and said, "Hey kid, Boston sucks." And the entire place erupted with hate for Eddie Kingston.
I know that feeling well. Back when I was the United States Heavyweight Champion, I was doing a show for NEPW, New England Pro Wrestling, with Big City Mike at that time. And we were in Windham, Connecticut, and we were literally right across the street from where Women's UConn play. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you remember back in the day, you know, when Women's UConn was really, really on top of their game, and this was like the first time they were going against Tennessee. Well, I went out and did an interview, and I said tonight at 10:30, women's UConn go down. Well, little did I know they were going to lose. So it just became a giant thing. And by the end of the night, I had so much heat that the cops literally had to escort me out to my vehicle because I was not going to get out alive. Of course, I think that had a little to do with the fact that Ox Baker was the opposing manager that night, and he was doing this gimmick, the man in the golden wheelchair. And I literally went out, and this will tell you Ox's character. I went out and confronted him because he had my belt. I ripped the belt out of his hand. He's looking at me. I ripped the microphone out of his hand, and he's looking at me. He's like, you wouldn't hit a man. Now, like, keep in mind, he's in a wheelchair, and he's stuttering over his words. He reaches in his pocket, pulls out a pair of glasses, and puts the glasses on. And goes, a man with glasses, would you? So never mind the fact he was in a wheelchair. So yeah, that night, yeah, cops had to escort me out. It was not good.
I want to say thank you for Mr. Eric Hunting from Parts Unknown and Nick Payne for tuning in. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be talking to Eric Hunting from Parts Unknown. Eric is has a YouTube channel now called Eric Hunting from Parts Unknown, and it covers a lot of New England pro wrestling, especially like the Western Massachusetts area. It's really groovy, really cool, and I urge everybody to please go check it out. And we'll be talking about that tomorrow. Eric's been on the podcast before. It's been about 2 years since his last appearance, so I'm really looking forward to having him on. Really.
Sounds like it's going to be good times.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be. So keep an eye out.
Thanks for tuning in, Eric and Nick Payne. Thanks for tuning in, and see you on Saturday.
Yeah. Don't forget Saturday. This Saturday, April 30th. Excuse me. I'm trying to remember my dates here. We're still in April, right? Yes.
Yes.
Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling presents
Point Blank.
Yep, and that is going to be a hot show. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, absolutely.
The nerd on the other screen across from me is going to be there. No, maybe not. All right. No reaction. You hear this?
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
I was talking about you.
You're looking to get chopped, aren't you? Woo!
Chief J Strongbow over here. So
no, that's the tomahawk chop.
Oh, that's right. What do you know about what happened with the National Wrestling Alliance this week? I got a couple topics that I want to discuss, and then not a whole lot.
Thank God, because I to be 100% honest, I did not have a lot of free time this week at all. I've been in the studios all week long doing voiceover crap, and actually our guest for this evening had to back out at the last minute due to unforeseen circumstances with his job, so we'll have to reschedule him. But I am looking to hopefully next week have the 3-time NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion, and for a brief moment in time, I think it was like a minute and 20 seconds, here in Connecticut, he was recognized as the NWA World Champion, the Boston Bad Boy Jason Rumble.
Wow, I'm looking forward to that. I've been, I've been well aware of that guy for quite a few years. I think the first time I saw him, he worked for a Tony Rumble show, if I remember correctly. And I'm going back. Has to be either late 90s, early 2000s. I'm going to say late 90s, maybe.
Yeah, it had to be the late 90s.
Wrong. Yeah.
Because
I think it was Century Wrestling, I believe.
Yeah, because by 2000, it was already NWA New England, and I was working with them at that time. So
I believe it was either North Haven, Connecticut, or Wallingford, Connecticut. That seems like the area that they ran.
Probably Wallingford, because they did a lot of shows in Wallingford.
They also did the car dealerships out there too. When they used to do they used to put the ring right in the middle of the. You can ignore the comment. Don't worry about it. They used to do.
No. I was actually looking at it because quickly on my screen from the angle that I'm at, it looked like it said Adrian Street.
No, we wouldn't get that lucky. I don't think he tuned in. I am Facebook friends with him, however, but I don't think he's ever tuned in to one of our broadcasts.
I remember meeting him years and years and years ago because of Ox, and oh my goodness, what a character!
I tried to get him on the show a while back, and then he asked for a lot of money for that appearance, and I couldn't justify spending that amount of money to come on the podcast. To be honest with you.
Let me see what I can do.
All right. So yesterday afternoon, the NWA has announced that they are having another pay-per-view. Their next pay-per-view, I should say. It's called Always Ready. It's basically going to be a Matt Cardona kind of honoring /
Bullshit.
event.
Bullshit.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I do have some quotes from Mr. Cardona. I don't know if I want to read these. You want to read these?
I can read it.
It just goes with what I've been saying about him forever now.
Well, we're going to get into a slight discussion. I don't think we're going to be here. He disappeared. I don't think we're going to be here the entire hour that we normally are, but that we normally do. But it's okay because we're just going to get right into the point this week. As World Heavyweight Champion, Matt Cardona insisted that if he was to be compelled to go into a storied NWA territory, thank you, like Knoxville, Tennessee, and defend the championship, he would only appear if the June 11th pay-per-view was in his honor. The event named after his singular catchphrase, "Always Ready," will feature his entrance music as the show's sole theme, and all promotional materials therein will include his brand and likeness, including no less than a modified NWA logo, which now reads MCWA, Matt Cardona Wrestling Alliance. Now, all that's left is for the champion to be ready to live up to his requests. Come on now.
I'm just going to cut my tongue off at that one and not say a word.
I got some more here. Let me just.
I can't stand him, if you hadn't noticed.
Just a tiny bit. There is another. I got one. Let's see. I got another quote here. Okay. And Cardona also provided comments at the press release in his honor. Sorry, I know I'm reading notes and it's pretty. Damn, if I keep.
One thing I will say about Matt Cardona, if I really, really want to go to sleep, I'll just listen to him talk.
Did Ric Flair ever have an event named after him? No. Did Harley Race? Never. As the only real world champion, I am honored to have this event named after me because I earned this all by myself. Everyone should know they have to be a part of this once in a lifetime event to share in me elevating the NWA to new greatness. Okay.
I'm gonna intercede here for 1 second.
Absolutely, 100% jump in, please.
You know how I feel about Sunset Steve, right?
Sunset Steve's a great guy. What are you talking about?
I would prefer to see him as the NWA World Champion over Matt Cardona.
I don't know what you're referring to here. I think Sunset Steve's a great guy, and I think yeah. Anyways, back to Matt.
Oh,
Cardona.
I gave him his props last night.
What did we talk about last night? We talked about how in the past, I shouldn't say last night, Cardona, how he's a great businessman, correct? He's great for getting his name out there. He's great for getting attention on himself. And this just adds to that.
Yes. But from a marketing point of view, there is such a thing as bad advertisement, even though people don't agree with that term. If you have too much negativity on you, then that can go against you versus helping you. And in my opinion, he's just bringing way too much negativity to the table with some of his actions as of late.
Yes. Well, I think it was it last weekend? Yeah. He wrestled on the AIW show. Yes, I'm trying to make sure I had the company right. And didn't catch a hurricanrana from a child. Which I think if you're supposed to be the NWA World's Champion, why are you doing bullshit like that?
Exactly my point. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then making I'm gonna sue. What?
Yeah.
What?
You're supposed to be the world's champion. Like, get out of here.
What are you, Tommy the Guns manager from Rocky? Touch me and I'll sue. Touch me and I'll sue.
What's his name? Don King, right? The Don King impersonator.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Touch me and I'll sue.
So that's the next pay-per-view. That is going to, where is it? Does it say the date here? It does somewhere. Let me find it. Hang on one.
Are you talking about the Matt Cardona Honor Show?
June 11th, Saturday, June 11th. That's in Knoxville, Tennessee. Am I going to watch it? Sure. It's an NWA show. We have an NWA podcast to discuss. Am I going to watch it? Absolutely. I have no choice. Am I going to enjoy it? I may enjoy it more than I actually think that I'm anticipating.
Maybe.
Unless it's completely too Cardona'd up. Say, NWO is sold out. Catch what I'm saying? Which I have a feeling they can go in a route like that if you think about it.
I don't know.
Yep. I understand. All right. So let's see. Where else do we go? I did watch Power for the most part, and I do have notes. I think there's very little that I did not see. But before I get into that, the NWA has announced they are going to be. Actually, the NWA did announce that there is going to be a show between the NWA and Outlaw Wrestling in Brooklyn, New York.
Absolutely.
And this is June. Was it June 10th?
I thought it was June 3rd.
June 3rd. Okay, sorry. I was going to say that's too close to this date, so it doesn't make sense.
I think you said June 3rd.
Yeah, I think I did tell you that yesterday. I don't have it in my notes here. But either way, I plan on making that trek. It's a 2-hour drive from New Haven, Connecticut. So I think it could, I have not gone to an NWA show or any NWA affiliated show in probably 2 decades, maybe. So I'm looking forward to this. And as details come out, we will be bringing that to you.
Yep, indeed. Let's see. I do have my notes right here for that. Hold on one second, and I will. I am totally disorganized today, everybody, and I do apologize.
Yeah, we both are. It's okay.
And the funny thing is, this is the conversation you and I were just having last night. About
organization. Yes. Yeah. Last night we were talking about after the show. What show did I do last night with
that was Sunset Steve
Garcia? Yeah, and then afterwards we were talking about how I'm bouncing back and forth and trying to be a little bit more organized. And
no, you're right. It is Friday, June 10th.
Okay, Friday, June 10th. So I wonder who's going to actually. Well, I mean, Tennessee to up here. Probably a 12-hour drive, right? So they're either going to fly up and do the show, or whoever. I don't know how many NWA, how much NWA talent's actually going to come up for that. We'll have to see.
Where is it? Nashville, you said?
Yeah, Knoxville.
Knoxville?
Yeah. It's probably about a 12-hour drive, right?
Yeah, something like that, because I know from here to my house in South Carolina, it's about 18 hours.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to ask Chris a few questions.
Sure.
All right, and then we'll get into discussing some of Power. Chris, you've never really been a wrestling fan, but when you come up here to visit me in Connecticut, you always sound interested in going to professional wrestling.
Sure, yeah.
What do you think about professional wrestling now that you're grown up and going to shows? You can be completely honest. There's no, you're not going to get blocked or banned.
You should have given me a list of questions beforehand.
I don't have to.
My man is in the chat.
Gregory Nope, that's Gregory Kramer is in the chat watching us on Twitch. Thank you, Greg, for tuning in.
Oh, I thought that said bad. I apologize. Thank you for tuning in.
Nah, I don't
The
think he
real
likes me enough.
Greg.
Yeah, the real Gregory K.
I misread that.
I like wrestling.
I know that. That's the point. This is gonna be a tough interview. This kid's a tough interview, I swear.
All right, what else?
So,
what's your favorite part of wrestling?
Yeah, what's your favorite part?
The interaction with the fans.
The interaction with the fans. That's fair. That's a great assessment, I guess, right? Who do you like seeing? And I know nowadays we usually only go to Paradise Alley shows, but who do you like seeing there?
Like the most?
Yeah. Well, what are some of your favorites in the area or when we go?
Showtime, Marcel Williams. Let's see who else.
Closer.
The Haven.
Oh yeah.
The Haven.
Yep.
Good choice.
And Kylon King.
Kylon King. Yep. Kylon King's coming back in a couple weeks. He hasn't been there for a while, so pretty excited to see that guy come back. He's definitely one of my favorites too. Yep. All right. Is there anything else you want to talk about with this?
No.
You don't have to be shy. We're sitting here having fun. So
what is your take as a fan of AEW versus WWE versus NWA?
He's gonna.
I don't really like WWE that much. I don't like it at all, probably. The other two, they're okay. Yeah.
I really only watch the NWA for the most part. I do have AEW on in the background right now.
Why?
I don't even know if you've ever really watched much of it outside of like bigger shows because they're never here when I watch it, and their mom does not allow them to watch professional wrestling where they are. That's the wild thing.
Well, that's just a Doink the Clown.
It's there's yeah. So I do have to say that I from what I did see out of this NWA Power episode, well, it's 3 R's. I had the emphasis on the R's. Nick Aldis defeating Jordan Clearwater. I think Jordan Clearwater is a great talent, man. What do you think, Mickey? Benefactor Mickey Biggs?
I think he is a great talent, and sometimes I actually think he's a bit underrated.
Absolutely underrated. I think he's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, he's definitely got some skills.
And I think there's a chance of him becoming a little bit bigger of a star through the National Wrestling Alliance coming down. I wouldn't be surprised if he went after like a title in the next few months to a year.
I was just thinking about that. What title do you think he would be best suited with?
Does he fit the category? Like fit the weight class for junior heavyweight? Or is he
that's what I was thinking too. I don't know. He may be slightly too big for it, but
or is he just tall? He might be in the weight limits. He might just be a little bit taller than most.
Not for nothing. That would be an exciting match between him and Homicide.
Absolutely. And we're going to get into Homicide in a second. I just think that I think it would be really good. He had a pretty decent but short match with Nick Aldis, All right, let's see here. Of course, we're just talking about Homicide. He went. He defended actually, it was. Yes, it was a title match against Rhett Titus. I love my Rhett Titus. I think he's a great wrestler, man. These two guys just put on a hell of a match during this. Yep.
Yeah, I heard it was a barn burner.
Yeah, absolutely. We can get to these results, then we'll talk a little about whatever. Trevor Murdoch defeated Aaron Stevens. I love both of these guys. Aaron Stevens is hilarious. Still great. And Angelina Love defeated Tootie Lynn.
Hello, Guardian of Chaos, GOC Big Daddy. Welcome to the show. Thanks for tuning in.
GOC is in the house. And the NWA Tag Team Champions, La Rebellion, defeated the Briscoes to retain the titles. I think that if anybody's going to defeat La Rebellion in the next few months, it will be the Briscoes. I think there's a very good chance the Briscoes are going to be taking it in.
Yeah.
You're okay, my friend. GOC, it's all right. It's not too eventful today. You want to throw anything out there, please do. But yeah, I think the Briscoes have a good chance of being the ones that do take the titles from Love Rebellion at some point.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Briscoes have made quite a name for themselves, and they're on fire right now.
Absolutely,
And
these guys are everywhere. The only place they're not going is like WWE or AEW. I have that on in the background, GOC. I'm watching it. Don't worry. I'm going live right after AEW, and we're talking about AEW, me and Marcel. So tune in 10:10. We're going live.
10:10.
10 minutes after 10. Yes.
That's like a weird timing. 10:10.
It gives us 10 minutes to prepare. I don't understand how it's weird.
It's like a movie at a movie theater starting at like 20 something, like 3:24.
Go to sleep. 10 minutes after the hour, we are going live.
I remember when Raw used to start at like, what was it, like 2 minutes before the hour, or 7? What was it, 2 minutes before?
Yeah, because
they would do like their live intro and be like, "Oh, hello everybody," rah, 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 rah. Then they'd go into a commercial and then they'd come back and introduce live.
They would start 3 minutes before, actually, so that they would beat Nitro to getting on, is what it was.
It is a clean
Fly Nine Noriega.
Kyle
What's
O'Reilly
up,
behind you, Professor.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah, hang on. I'm saying hi to Fly Nine. What's going on, my friend? I'm going to be in touch with you very soon. Hope to see you on Saturday. So I'm going to probably send you a message. GOC, is that a clean-shaven Kyle O'Reilly? This my oldest son Christian wanted to jump in here today and say hello and jump in. So he is here.
Hey, can you put flies up on the screen
for me?
I'm
going to put this up on the screen. Go ahead.
Yo, benefactor, Greg ain't answer. The check ain't clear, and I need my money. You know what you can do about that? You can hold your hand on your you-know-what and wait.
I'm sure I'll be checking in with you in Showtime. Thank you, GOC. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the love and support. Always.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Yep. So what else we got? We got
GOC, one of the greatest.
Yes, absolutely, dude. The guy's awesome. So
9:37. We got a minute.
9:37. We got some time left. So what else do you want to bring up here? We just discussed some NWA Power and NWA news and try to talk to this kid.
I have a question.
You have a question? Don't be retired.
Okay.
I mean,
who is Kylie O'Reilly?
Kyle O'Reilly. That's the guy.
O'Reilly.
That's the guy right there.
Which one? There's a lot
the
of
second
guys.
One. Yes.
The one.
See, he doesn't. I told you he doesn't watch AEW. He doesn't know much about wrestling. Outside.
So here's a question for you.
Me or him?
Here you go. Well, both of you actually.
Yep.
He's new to wrestling, so I don't know what to expect as far as his answer would be. But let's see what your dad says. Greatest of all time, NWA World Champion.
He will not know that. But I'm telling you, the greatest of all time. There's so many greats. There's Lou Thesz. There's Pat O'Connor. There's Buddy Rogers. There's the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
There can only be one.
I can't. You're putting me on the spot, dude. Because I think
I would love to see Homicide.
Ric Flair is the greatest professional wrestler of all time. Okay, there's no question about that. He may not be my personal favorite, but he is absolutely the greatest wrestler of all time. Jeez, man, I might have to go with Flair. But I mean, there's so many greats that held that title. Look at the list. Dory Funk Jr. There's Jack Briscoe. There's
Dusty Rhodes.
Everybody they just mentioned. I got to put this up here. I don't know if he's joking around or not. As you know, I'm a huge Tyrus fan. Are you joking?
Huge. Not huge.
Yes. Huge. I presume if that's the serious, did you buy his new book?
So did you happen to see what I had sent you that link yesterday about the 10 evilest wrestlers ever?
I did not get to open it, actually. I totally forgot about it.
So one of the people in there actually surprised me, was a former NWA guy, Dick Murdoch.
Well, he was part of the Klan.
Not just part of the Klan, but did you hear the story about what he did to Tony Atlas one time?
No.
So on this thing, they talk about it, and they actually talk with Tony Atlas about it. Tony Atlas and I think it was Wildfire Tommy Rich. Dick Murdoch had said, "Hey, we got this party going on. Why don't you guys go over there?" So they gave him the address and everything. Well, they get over there, and Tommy Rich yells to Atlas. He's like, "Lay down, lay down, lay down." It was the middle of a Klan rally, and somebody was going up checking cars, and had they not told Tony Atlas to lay down, Tommy Rich and I do, we would have been hung out to dry. And they basically went back and
Go ahead.
They went back to ask Dick Murdoch, what that was all about. He's like, "Oh, it was all in good fun. We didn't think you'd actually go." Wow.
I've heard a story about how Dusty Rhodes, he asked Dusty Rhodes for a ride out to a party or whatever the fact, and
they talked about that too.
And they showed up, and it was at a Klan meeting. And I guess from what I read, from what was told, Dusty Rhodes got the fuck out as quick as he possibly can.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Big Cass is all elite.
Wow, that's let's put that up here. I'm surprised. He must have finished up his Impact dates, I guess, because he was just on their pay-per-view last week.
Let me tell you, that's going to be a hell of a match right there, though.
A highlight? Never mind.
What, you don't like Big Cass?
I mean, he's all right. He's better than his little buddy there. Let's see what else.
Enzo.
Yeah, that guy. I heard the this week's what's it called? AEW Dynamite was the show that I'm currently watching was heavily rewritten because Adam Page got the COVID.
Oh wow, did not hear that.
Yeah, I read that earlier today. Actually, probably like an hour before the show went on the air. What do you think of? Have I ever discussed that with you? I mean, we don't normally discuss AEW here. So, what did I ever ask you what you thought of Adam Page as world champion in AEW?
I don't believe you have. But it's funny you do ask that because this past weekend on the Gorilla Position, we were talking about that. And
yeah, I think I jumped in the chat for that.
I think so, yeah.
Commented. I don't know if anybody ever said it.
And
I don't remember.
The thing is, I think he's doing a lot better in AEW than he ever did with NXT. And the fact that they gave him the AEW belt says a lot for him.
Right.
And I think he was well deserving of it. And I don't know. I think it was a good choice.
Yeah, I think it's just it started out good, but I think it's lacking a little bit now.
Now it is, yes. And you know what I do blame on that though is the poor creative or lack thereof creative.
Yeah, I mean Tony Khan is all over the place.
You got AEW opening up every single show just about with CM Punk. Okay, enough is enough. I mean, I like CM Punk, but damn, son.
Yeah, no, I get it. I like him too. It's bizarre that they keep doing that.
I mean, if they're trying to get ratings and they're trying to put asses in seats, man, oh man, what about the people watching it on TV every single week?
Yeah, I mean, and I don't miss it every week. You know, I watch it every single Wednesday. You got to think it's like the guy was gone for 7 years and people missed him, but it's been almost a year now.
But enough's enough now.
Yeah, it's been almost a year.
I would almost rather them open up the show with Wardlow, for crying out loud.
No, they usually save that for the middle. You did miss a great match. I don't know if you actually go back and watch those shows, but Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood put on a phenomenal match. And for some reason, I felt like the crowd was a tiny bit dead for this. It was a really, really good wrestling match, just pure wrestling. But I don't want to give too much away, as I will be discussing this at 10:10 with Marcel Williams.
Trying to clean up.
Listen, we all know, and I've said this in the past, the only reason I'm on this show with you is for the ratings. And I'm beginning to think that the AEW show, well, let's face it, Showtime is the only reason that you have him on there for the ratings.
Wow. Thanks.
Wow. Not because he's good friends with him or anything.
And that I'm not good at what I do. Yeah. Jesus.
Burn.
Oh, no, I didn't say you weren't good. I didn't do that at all.
I can't draw flies, right? It's probably the only thing I can draw. Anyways.
You said it, not me.
Yeah. Oh, I'm more than well aware, my friend.
And it's being recorded live, so we got proof that you said it.
Oh, no,
not
we're
me.
live on air. We are live on air.
No,
right
I said
now
it, but I'm saying it's being recorded as well, and I got proof now that you said it, not me, so I'm good. My conscience is clear.
So anyways, is there anything else you'd like to discuss? What's your favorite NWA World Tag Team Champions? How about that?
Ooh,
then there's going to be a follow-up, provided we still have time.
Wow.
You got any era?
I can't even choose that. Just trying to think of all the greats that were there. Let me just think here for a minute. Give your choice. Let me think on that for a minute.
Right now, I'm going to go with Tully and Arn. And they were one of my favorite tag teams in the 1980s. And, you know, it's like match after match, and they beat everybody. And they had such a hard time losing those titles. They were just such a great tag team. And then they went over to WWF, where they won the tag team titles and just dominated over there for like a year. It's such a great tag team. And then, of course, you know, there's guys like the Midnight Express. The Steiners were a great team. They were just dominated every single team they went in for God knows how long.
I'm going to go a little newer than that. Actually, a lot newer than that, actually.
The new Rock and Roll Express?
No.
I mean, Midnight Express, the new Midnight Express.
I'm going to go, no, even newer than that. I'm going to go to when NWA was part of TNA.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with America's Most Wanted.
A great tag team. Those guys were awesome as a tag team.
They were an awesome tag team. And they're right up there with probably some of the best in the business.
We had Chris Harris on the show probably about 2 years ago. A hell of a guy, man, and a great interview. Seriously. Really good guy. But yeah, man, I think James Storm has put on a hell of a solo career since.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Even his work currently, like every time he jumps in an NWA ring now, he puts on a great match.
Do you know who has the history for having the shortest tag team title reign in the NWA?
Wow, that's a good question.
It's a more modern team.
I can't even think of a more modern team. So is it the TNA era?
David Flair and Dan Factor.
Jesus. Okay. Not that modern, but modern enough.
Is that a relative to Ric Flair?
It's Ric Flair's son. Yes. Yeah. See, I told you he doesn't know anything. All right.
That's not very nice.
Well, you know. How about United States Tag Team Champions? I have to go with either the Fantastics or the Midnight Express.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it has to be the Midnight Express for me.
Because I mean, if you watch that, was it the Clash of the Champions where it's like the Midnights and the Fantastics open it up? They go for such a long time and they put on such a great match for the United States Tag Team titles. I
Although
think it's the first or second Clash, I think.
Although wasn't Arn Anderson and Ole Anderson United States Tag Champs too?
I think they were. That's a good question. I don't think so. I can look that up real quick.
I thought that's what the belt. I thought that was the belt they were going for on that video we watched the other day.
Yeah, they might have gone for it, but.
And that's where Arn made the guy quit basically for the armbar.
Let me just double check here. Yeah, that one was a good episode. Let's see. I'm trying to find the list of the. Okay. Nope, it's the World Tag Team Champions. I said United States. What the hell? Google is not your friend sometimes. I tell you when you type something in there. And
did we only talk about wrestling?
Okay. Hang on. Nope, this is not. Yeah, I can't find a list actually, so it's kind of pissing me off. But let's see. What is this? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I can't find it. NWA United States Tag Team, but it doesn't have the actual list of people here.
No, that was that was not the U.S. Tag Team titles. It was the national.
National. That's what I said, but I wasn't sure if it was because that was still relevant, and I think that ended up turning into the United States Tag Team titles, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
I think so.
At that time period. Yep. So then, of course, there's always. Go ahead.
Now, of course, so the lineage of it falls back to that, but
yeah,
not quite the same title.
No, but don't forget, every territory had there was always probably at one time 5 different United States Tag Team Champions, and then there was national Tag Team Champions. So eventually they went through and they started combining those, especially as Crockett bought the other territories that he was buying.
Exactly.
And then, as the territory started dying and he was becoming the most well-known NWA promoter, even though there was still, a few territories that were not Crockett. I think Don Owen was still running up until the. What's that?
I said I loved seeing that. All those independent promotions. That when they were the territories, and then, like you said, when he started buying everything up, it watered it down a little bit, in my opinion.
To an extent, yeah. But then he had no choice but to sell to Ted Turner, and it became into WWE.
Well, yeah. Exactly. But I used to love seeing, like you were saying, the different territories, just throwing a territory out there, the NWA United States Heavyweight Champion, the Mid-South version.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So, there was stuff like that would happen all the time.
And I mean, that's back when wrestling was wrestling.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
It's a completely different product today. I love, I still go back, just like that day that I sent you that video, that episode that we were just talking about. It's like, I'll go back and sit there and watch. I'll binge watch old episodes of NWA's World Championship Wrestling or an NWA Worldwide Wrestling or Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. It just turns into a thing. The last week I went into a binge watching thing of NWA Eastern Championship Wrestling.
Nice.
So, which eventually became ECW, Extreme Championship Wrestling.
On Peacock, on the WWE Network, they have the old Mid-South, I think, on there? I think they have the old Mid-South Wrestling on there as well.
Yeah. And separating at some point. I think that's when the whole fiasco with Shane Douglas happened. So. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So you can go back and from the 70s and 80s and, even into the early 90s and watch some good NWA stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much of it out there. from the glory days, if you will, or the golden days of NWA.
Yeah.
I just, like I said, I love NWA. I'm a huge fan of theirs. I'm hoping at some point that they regain some of that former glory that they had. They're working on it. They're building it up, but it's not quite there.
I think right now Billy Corgan's doing something really great with the NWA.
Oh,
I think he's
absolutely.
doing a tremendous job. Probably one of the best jobs that has been done in years, decades actually.
I would agree. I would agree with that.
Yeah. He's got the money. You know what I mean? He's and he spent time working with Impact as well after they left the NWA. So I mean, he's a huge wrestling fan as it is, and he has been his whole entire life. So he knows what it's like to put that, to do this whole thing. So he could very well restore the NWA to its former glory, bring it up a lot. He's got a lot of really good ideas. I'm not saying that there's a lot of ideas of his that I cringe at, definitely. Andy Nichols, hello, how are you? Jumping in towards the end of the show. We're going to be out of here in a few minutes, and I'm jumping back on it just after 10.
10:10.
Yep, to talk. Yes, 10:10 with Marcel Williams. It's showtime.
Yeah, it will be showtime because he'll be on with you.
Literally. What are you laughing at?
Everyone else is laughing.
All right, so Mick, do you have anything else you want to throw in there, or do you want to wrap it up?
No, let's wrap it up. But I did promise you an old school intro, so I'll do an old school outro if that's okay with you.
Oh Lord, here we go. I'm scared.
Everybody, this has been an NWA Wrestling Spotlight brought to you by the PWZ with the Professor, Rick Del Santo, and the Benefactor, Mickey Biggs. Stay tuned because coming up at 10:10, it is showtime. Marcel Williams back with the Professor Rick Del Santo right here on PWZ Live for your AEW Dynamite review. See you next week. See you this Saturday at ringside.
We'll see you later, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in.